Because if you're going after something new, you're going to need some new habits. If you're going after something different, guess what? You're going to need some different habits. If you're going after something that is grand, you're going to need some grand habits. And those things are not going to happen overnight. Hey, queens. Yeah, you know who you are. God, come on. Go ahead and put that crown on your head. Now tilt a little to the left. Now a little to the right. Perfect. Now let's get to work. Because we know you got big goals. And you got big dreams and not afraid to let them know. Why? Because you step into your purpose. You speak out on your faith. And you shift up in your journey. Because you a boss. Welcome to the podcast, Drop the Expiring Act with your host, Belly of QueenBayGoals.com, reminding you that you are a queen before anything else. It's your life and your goals. Make it royal. All right, y'all. Go ahead and work that crown. Hey, Queen Bays. So we are talking about aligned habits this week, which is Queen Bay goal number 5. So we're working our way up. Last week, I hope you caught the episode where we talked about building strong relationships, which is Queen Bay goal number 6. So this is Queen Bay goal number 5, which is about aligning our habits. So what exactly does aligning your habits mean? So most times when we are talking about dropping our aspiring act, whether we are aspiring entrepreneurs, aspiring authors, aspiring podcasters, right? Most of the time we say that these are the things that we want to do, but then our habits don't start to match up with the things that we say that we want to do because we have been in a habit of not doing it for so long that it just doesn't come natural to us once we start saying, okay, I want to be an aspiring entrepreneur. I want to be an aspiring author. I want to be an aspiring podcaster. And your habits in your daily life don't match up to what you're saying it is that you want to be or do. So you have to start creating new habits and aligning your habits to actually match the words and the goals that you're creating. And we're going to get into a little bit more about goals in the next episode when we talk about live on purpose. But right now we're talking about aligned habits. Like just recently, I finished up my 21 days of habit journaling challenge that I was doing for my YouTube series for the 21 Days of Habits. If you have not checked out my YouTube series yet, please make sure to go to Queen Bay Goals on YouTube and check out our channel. We will have a lot of new content coming, which starts with the 21 Days of Habits Journaling Challenge. Now, guess what? Even though it's supposed to be 21 days of habits, it actually took me more than 21 days to do the journaling habit. But you'll have to go to the video and watch it to find out why it actually took me more than 21 days. But as we're talking about aligned habits, let's get into 4 ways that you can begin to align your habits to actually match your habits up with the things that you said you want to do or the things that you said you want to be. Because I could just call it habits, and I chose to call it aligned habits versus, calling it new habits, because our habits have to align with the vision that we have for our lives. So it's not just about creating new habits, but it's about creating habits that align with what you want. So number 1, it's all about letting your actions match your words. So it basically means what we've been talking about, right? Making sure that the things that you're doing are the things that you're saying. And it also means paying attention to the actions that you're taking. Because if we're not paying attention to our actions, because sometimes our actions are the opposite of what we said that we want. We have to ensure that our actions are matching the words that we're saying, because actions is all about habits and habits is all about actions. The second one is to be goal oriented. And like I said, we'll talk more about goals when we talk about the live on purpose. But being goal oriented, it's helpful because once you realize or you choose the goals that you want to work toward in your life, it helps you to create the habits that you're going to need to make those goals come true. So you actually have to set some goals. That's why I say all of the goals that I have set, they all tie into one another. So it's about creating the goals and then aligning your habits to make sure that it matches up to the goal that you said that you want. So for example, if one of your goals is to save money, but you maybe have a habit of, spending money on things that you shouldn't, right? You will have your goal there as a reminder that, hey, I said that my goal is to save money. So if I'm seeing myself continuously spending money, when I'm looking at my receipts, when I'm looking at my bank statement and just seeing all of these withdrawals, it's like that is the actual opposite of the goal that you set. But if you create a goal that says, I want to start saving money, and you start actually paying attention to the actions that you're taking, you realize that you have to align your habits with the goal that you want. So it's not spending money on a frivolous coffee when you're going to get gas, not spending money on the new hot outfit that you see when you're walking through the mall. Not that we're walking through the mall right now because, COVID, but when you were walking through the mall. So things like that. And that gets me into number 3, which is do a circle check. And when I say do a circle check, I mean to do a check of the people who are around you and those who are in your immediate circle. Because here's the thing. When you start creating goals for yourself and you start aligning your habits to match up to those goals, you have to start paying attention to the people who are around you who may be influencing some of the habits that you are trying to change. Because even though you're trying to change in your life, that doesn't necessarily mean that the people around you want to change. And they are going to probably influence you into doing things that you no longer want to do. Now, if these are good friends of yours, they might, help you out and say, okay, I know that, you spend extra money when we go here. They might be like, girl, don't spend that money. And if you have friends like that, those are the type of friends that you need to keep in your circle. But if you have friends first of all, if you have friends who you don't even want to share your goals with, if you can't even share your goals with your friends, you need to really think about why are they in your circle. But if you have friends that, you tell them that your goal is maybe to save money, but, every day they want to take you somewhere different. They want to be like, come on, let's go here. And if going there means spending some money, it's like they're completely not caring about what you said your goals were. And they just want to go about their everyday life that they've lived with you and the person that you are, or the person that you were. Let's get that correct. The person that you were. You might need to check that friend or check your circle and, kind of back away from that friend. Because if they understand that you are working towards a different goal of not spending money and they don't care about that, they want you to continue to doing all the things that you used to do, maybe you need some new friends. Or maybe you need to, not hang around that person as much. If they don't respect your goals, if they don't respect the fact that you are trying to change. Because people don't like change because they feel like you're trying to change yourself, and that means that you're trying to change them. Or if you're trying to change, some of them feel like, well, you think you're better than me because you think that you can go save money now, because they're not ready to save money in their own lives. So they don't want you to start saving money in your life. So you need to pay attention to friends like that. So check your circle. And lastly, I want to say number 4 is to basically forgive yourself. Because here's the thing, you've had a habit, and we're sticking with the same example of saving money. If you've had a habit of, spending money every time that you get it, it might take a while for you to get into the habit of, not swiping your debit card, not buying something for yourself every time that you get your paycheck, not going out there and buying something new as a bonus or whatever. Making sure that even if you end up falling into this habit, like maybe 3 months from now, you've saved for a good 2 months, and then in the 3rd month, you're like, you just happen to be out and you just swipe your card to buy something random. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't think, oh my gosh, I'm going to fall back into my ways because of one mistake, right? Forgive yourself because you created that habit for years. And if you're just starting to try to create and align your new habits with the new goals that you say that you want in your life, you can't just go out there and drop the old habit that you had in a day. It's going to take some time for your mindset to adjust, for your actions to adjust, right? It's going to take some time for your habits to adjust. And maybe you need to give it a little bit of help by, not walking with your debit card if you're going somewhere where you can spend a whole lot of money. Maybe it's taking out the cash, the amount of cash that that you need for a month. So if you are buying lunch, let's say if you have to buy lunch and you need maybe $20 a week, making sure you take out that cash, take out $80 for the month and just say, okay, I'm going to spend this $80 for the month and I'm not spending any more than that. Because maybe you need to start small. Maybe you can't just start jumping into, doing a meal plan, right? You can't go from having lunch or buying lunch every day, every week to jumping into, okay, I can create a whole meal plan for a month. Like some people can do that, but not everybody can do that. So you have to be able to forgive yourself for those times when you step into your old habits. And then you have to start creating new habits so that you can start going after those goals that you say that you want. So that's why we are goal oriented. So real quick, let me go back through the 4 steps of how we align our habits, which is 1, let your actions match your words. 2, make sure that you start being more goal oriented, and we'll get into that in the Live on Purpose episode. 3, to do a circle check. And if there are people in your immediate circle who don't have the same or similar goals as you, maybe it's time to get a new circle, or maybe it's time to step back away from those people. And number 3, forgive yourself, right? Because you've had these habits for years, and it's not going to just happen, or you're not just going to change overnight. All right, so if you're ready to drop your aspiring act and become the entrepreneur, the author, the podcaster, the CEO, the VP, whatever it is that you want to be in your life, if you're ready to drop your aspiring act, you need to start making sure that you are aligning your habits with those things that you say that you want. Because if you're going after something new, you're going to need some new habits. If you're going after something different, guess what? You're going to need some different habits. If you're going after something that is grand, you're going to need some grand habits. And those things are not going to happen overnight. You can take it one day, one step, 1 minute at a time. All right, you guys. So next week we are getting into our Queen BAE Goal. Oh, no, sorry. Next week, we are actually getting into our book review. This week was supposed to be book review week, but because I mentioned that we're going to do online habits in this episode, I just went ahead and did the online habits because it's the end of the month. So, at the end of the month, we do book reviews. So, I'm buying myself a little bit more time so that I can finish reading up some more of this book that I'm reading that I'll share with you guys next week. So, make sure you come back next week to hear which book I'm reading. I'm keeping it on the DL just because I want to make sure that I get through a lot of the book before I actually bring it to you guys. So next week, come back to hear which book it is that we are talking about. Don't forget to check out my channel, Queen BAE Goals, on YouTube to make sure you see my video for the 21 habits of journaling and why it took more than 21 days. And if you like to journal, or if you want to journal, I also have some tips in there on how you can start journaling in your own life. So I will talk to you guys in the next podcast. You have been listening to another episode of Drop the Aspiring Act. If you're looking for more information of this podcast and other episodes, please visit queenbaegoals.com. That's QueenBaeGoals.com. All right, y'all. I'll see you in the next podcast.